So what is the real value of mind mapping? One of the big things about mind mapping is its flexibility to be used in a wide range of settings. All you need to do is look at NovaMind Connect and you can see the wide variety of uses of mind mapping. Just look at the tag cloud there and you'll see. Now, I don't know about you, but I haven't come across any other software where they have that range of uses for their software. But the interesting thing is that when you look at the major things people are using NovaMind for, we identified 8 very different uses for mind mapping where over 50% of users were using mind mapping for that purpose. Now, those items are to-do lists, presentations, note-taking, problem-solving, project planning, decision-making, knowledge management, and project management. All of those items had over 50% of users using NovaMind for that purpose. So what does that mean? It means that people are using mind mapping for a lot of different things. And why would they do that? Because it obviously benefits them in all those areas. But even more than that, when we increase the list of uses to 18, all of them had over 20% of users using mind mapping for that purpose. And the extra items are creative thinking, writing, strategic planning, group brainstorming, life management and goal setting, training and education, business process mapping, event planning, research, and SWOT analysis. Now that means that, on average, people use mind mapping for at least 6 completely different uses. This really highlights the flexibility of the software. I really can't think of any other single piece of software that can benefit so many completely different areas of your business and personal life. But what do people actually get out of it? Well, the biggest benefit that people cited was the clarity of thinking, and the second was managing information overload. Third equal were improved productivity and being better organized. So how much of a difference did using mind mapping make to these different areas? As you know, it's pretty difficult to quantify something like clarity of thinking or managing information overload. So we'll look at those in a bit more detail later, but for the moment, let's look at the third most beneficial thing about using mind mapping, and that is improved productivity. For some people, they more than doubled their entire productivity just by the use of mind mapping. But as you can imagine, that was the exception rather than the rule. What was found is that 34% of users improved their performance by at least 30%, and 60% saw an improvement of at least 20%, and 85% realized an improvement of at least 10%. So, if you're in business, what's the impact of this to you? Almost everyone got at least 10% productivity improvement, just from one piece of software. Quite incredible in and of itself. That's half a day a week, and over 50% of the people get an extra day a week. Just imagine all the different things that you can do with all that extra time that you have available. But let's go back and say we took that minimum of 10% productivity improvement and applied it to a salary of, say, $50,000. That means you're saving $5,000 a year by using NovaMind. Now, assuming that you're going to purchase NovaMind Platinum at $249, your return on investment is 2,008% in the first year. In other words, at pretty much the worst case scenario, you still get a payback period of 2.5 weeks. It only takes a very short time to get up to speed using NovaMind, so these benefits are almost instantaneous. So from the financial perspective, it's pretty much a no-brainer for any business. And if you look at it in the terms of time, the statistics show that you'll save at least half a day a week by using mind mapping. Now that's based on the worst case scenario from the third most significant benefit of mind mapping. But the real benefits really go way beyond that. So let's examine the top 2 benefits. The first is the clarity of thinking. At first this may seem like a bit of a fuzzy concept if you don't have clarity of thinking around it. So let's look at some of the ways in which clarity of thinking helps you. Firstly, you can use NovaMind for structured brainstorming or ideation to come up with new and unique ideas, either in the creative sense of working out new directions or new products, or in the sense of coming up with new solutions to problems. So what's the value of a new idea? Well, some new ideas may bring you millions of dollars in revenues. Some solutions to problems may save the entire company. You can use NovaMind also for planning projects and presenting them to clients and project stakeholders. But there's a lot of other benefits too. There's the potential to massively increase your revenues depending on what sort of business you're in. For example, one of our customers used NovaMind to win a $43 million project when bidding against over 300 other companies. And what was the key differentiator? Novamind. You can read about it in the case study section on our website. If your company manages projects of any sort, then you can benefit from mind mapping by making sure that you don't miss any tasks out as you're putting together your project plan, and the scope of the project is managed properly. You can increase your sales through better product design, better marketing planning, better communication with your market. You can be more competitive because you can gather and process information more quickly and come up with better solutions to problems. You can have higher profit margins through providing better solutions that you can charge a premium for, and you can get them to market more quickly than your competitors. You'll lower your expenses by being able to make better decisions faster and operate your projects more efficiently. Your staff will have higher morale because they can see that your company is leading the industry and everyone wants to be on a winning team. And one of the most important things is the improvement in communication. If you're working with a company mission or vision statement, your staff, investors and clients will be able to see at a glance what you're all about. If you're working with a project plan, all the stakeholders will be able to see the scope, the goals and objectives and why the tasks are necessary and where they fit into the plan. If you're giving a presentation to clients or prospects, or giving a seminar or teaching a class, your presentation will be clear and concise, and they'll be able to understand how it all fits together. Now, I've encountered a lot of entrepreneurs who are constantly having ideas that they want to implement, but find that nobody understands what they're trying to achieve. Well, mind mapping is the tool that breaks through this barrier, and they often come back to me raving about how it has massively improved their business and their lives. So let's move on to the last of the 3 top benefits of mind mapping, and that is managing information overload. Let's face it, just about everyone is confronted with information overload at some point in their job or life. You have to make difficult decisions. You have to collect information from a number of sources and put it together into something logical. You have difficult problems where it seems difficult to organize all the different factors. You have fuzzily defined projects that you have to tie down to something concrete to implement. For all these things, mind mapping really helps. When you're looking at your tasks, the natural organization of a mind map helps you with the prioritization and culling of non-important or irrelevant tasks or delegation of tasks to other people. You can put priorities on the different tasks in Novamind so that you can see at a glance what is important. As you collect the information together, you can just throw it into the mind map and move the branches around later or graph them to a different location on the mind map. This makes it massively easier than the traditional linear outline style of things, which tries to force your brain to think about every possibility for one topic before thinking of any other topic. This is just not how your brain works. You have multiple ideas about all sorts of different things coming up in your brain all the time, and unfortunately most of us have been trained out of the habit of listening to our brains, and instead we automatically and unconsciously discard some of our best ideas because they're not what we should be thinking about at the time. Experiencing brainstorming, planning and idea generation using mind mapping is experiencing the freedom that you used to have as a child before the artificial constraints of our education system and work environment got forced upon us and crushed our ability to think effectively. With the ability to get ideas out there quickly and organize them into a proper hierarchy that reflects the way we think, making decisions is much faster and we can make better quality decisions. This is because of the information organization, but also because the ideas were captured from our natural thinking processes, where there is a combination of our logical thinking processes and our gut instinct about the problem going into the mind map. With traditional thinking models, gut instinct is discarded, but with mind mapping those ideas get recorded and fit in with the logic to provide a way to understand and represent the association of all the ideas in a way that makes enormous amounts of sense and can be communicated to other people easily. So there we have it, the top 3 benefits you get out of mind mapping. We've shown that mind mapping is truly unique in its multiple uses and the fact that on average people use it for at least 6 completely different uses. We've looked at some of the main ways Novamind helps you clarify your thinking and operate efficiently. We've seen how you can manage information overload to make better use of your time and achieve higher quality results. And finally, to mention again the financial benefits of using Novamind. It costs only $249 for the top of the range product, and you get at least $5,000 a year in savings, over 2,000% return on investment, or a payback period of 2.5 weeks. Any business owner will tell you that that's an exceptionally good investment. Or if you look at it purely from a time savings perspective, you can save half a day a week through using mind mapping. So now you have all the information you need, and when you're ready to go now to the Novamind online store, you can get your copy now. And I wish you all the best and all success with your mind mapping.